are talking Jurassic Shark 2 AQUAPOCALYPSE. This one is directed by Mark Polania. He of many low-budget B-movies, including many B-movie shark films. And believe it or not, yes, this is actually a sequel to a 2012 movie called Jurassic Shark, a film that was terrible even by low-budget B-movie standards. But hey, it's been 9 years later, maybe things have improved. Maybe this kind of production company has turned over a new leaf. Let's discuss. So, Jurassic Shark 2 AQUAPOCALYPSE. Is there a story? Does it even matter? Well, let's just kind of show you what the synopsis is. So we have this kind of oil rig that's been drilling too deep off the coast of this small American town, and it has let loose this Megalodon which is causing havoc among the local populace, and we are left with a small group of kind of people around the area to try and, you know, get out alive. Also to do with the shady kind of corporate overlords that have instigated this whole thing. That's your basic plot premise. But like I've said, it doesn't matter. This movie has no kind of real sense of genuine kind of plot or narrative. It's just kind of here to have a cool cover, a funky name, and to get people buy thinking, oh, that sounds good. Buy it and then go, I'm never buying one of these low budget B movies again. I got suckered. This is the MO of this production company because, yeah, they always knock out these films that have great covers, and you know, it's just the modus operandi, unfortunately, of some low budget kind of companies that churn out these movies. Not just Mark Polania's company, there are others as well. Can I say anything on the positive column here? The name, I think, is very imaginative, so kudos to having a fun name. Can I say anything genuinely positive about this movie? Okay, so this might sound like faint praise, but I will say there are a couple of effect shots, CGI kind of like shark effects, that are better than other shark effects that I have seen in other shark-related Mark Polania movies. That might be very specific in regards to praise, but yes, there are actually, believe it or not, a couple of shots here where I didn't think were too bad on a B-movie scale. But put a pin in that, because the shark effects are different depending on whatever shot we're looking at here. But there's one or two that I think are okay. And the other thing I would say, there is some genuinely funny moments where this film will have you laughing purely at how bad it is, particularly in the sequence where the oil rig is kind of getting destroyed. It's hilarious how they've actually done that. Okay, but that's as far as I can go with any praise here. This is one of those films where it's just easy to kind of pick apart, and you know, I could go into every single thing that is wrong with this movie, but you kind of know what I'm going to say. You know, this is a film that was made for the pocket change behind the sofa. Everything about it is cheap. Let me just give you a few highlights. You can't, obviously, it's meant to be taken tongue-in-cheek. It's not meant to be a serious film. And I think sometimes people will say, oh, because it's kind of like knowingly schlocky, therefore it's kind of critic-proof. I don't subscribe to that at all. So I'm just going to give you a few, because you could just spend all day kind of picking this movie apart. The Polania kind of production company tends to use the same actors. And I have seen some reasonable performances from some of these, but this one, and I got a feeling there's kind of like friends of the family and kind of like just people that they know who have kind of acted in this, is legitimately the worst acting I think I've ever seen.
Here it comes!
It is really kind of like, you know, nails on a chalkboard bad. I mean, this makes Tommy Wiseau look like an Oscar winner. Let me put it like that. How stupid is this film? Stupid. It sounds obvious, doesn't it? But let me put that into context for you. Imagine the difference between Sharknado and Jaws, yeah? Well, it's a similar difference between Jurassic Shark 2 and Sharknado. That's the kind of difference we're talking here. That chasm of difference between the original Sharknado or any of the Sharknado movies and Jaws, the difference between that is the same between Sharknado and this. That is how stupid this film is. At least Sharknado had a crazy concept. You know, it had this kind of like unique selling point. Silly CGI sharks in, you know, a storm or whatever. This is just kind of like, it's just stupid. I mean, like you know, we're meant to believe. Well, you're not. You just kind of yeah. Okay, there's a megalodon. You know, we get told it's 50 feet or however long they say it is, and yet there's no real attempt to ever make this shark appear big. We see this kind of like wonky looking fin, which is clearly probably about 5 inches big, just kind of going through the water. It's never sort of shown in kind of ratio to anything, and people are going, oh my god, look how big this is, but you just see the little trickle of water kind of like going past the fin and things like this, and the shark seems to be able to swim in a couple of inches of water. Bear in mind we're talking about a megalodon here. Yeah. I mean, like I've said, you could just go on for ages about this kind of film. The effects are kind of rubbish. There are, like I said, there are 1 or 2 sequences of the effects I didn't think were too bad. But they seem to use different style of different kind of models, different CGI. Sometimes it's puppet, sometimes it kind of looks paper mache. It's horrible editing. It's kind of just, everything about this film was ropey. I mean, it's just like, it's almost like I can't think of anything to say because everything is bad. It's just kind of one of these things where, yeah, whatever you think, cinematography, editing, acting, plot, story, jokes, nothing works. It's just terrible. At least you saw a bit more of the shark in this one than the first movie. I guess that's one of the things I could say to say how, you know, heap on some praise of this one. But it's just kind of what I don't really understand why people make these films, to be honest. I'm not going to go on a rant, but like, it's the sad fact that they have a fun name, they have cool cover art, and people buy them because of that. And that's the thing. It's kind of like, you know, I genuinely can't see how people, knowing what this film would be like, and think, yeah, I fancy watching that. I just can't see it happening. I mean, I like B movies. I like low budget films, but I like even ones that are crappy sometimes. There's still some element of fun. It isn't fun, and that's the thing. If this movie was fun, I'd be a bit more forgiving with it. But it just is not fun. Yeah, it's just terrible. It's just like a cash in. This was made over a weekend with some friends for little to no money, and it's designed to kind of like hook people in with some cool cover art and a kind of the associated word of Jurassic, thinking it's going to be, oh, Jurassic, I like Jurassic Park and I like sharks, therefore I'll like this. The problem is, and I've said it in a couple of other videos, this is going to put people off of taking chances of buying low budget B movies when the shelves are filled with crap like this. Is that people just simply won't bother buying these. They won't take the chances on kind of spending those £5, those $5 on that DVD. Going, I've been burnt one too many times buying a crappy film. They're ruining the own industry, if you ask me. Anyway. 2 out of 10. It's just bad. It doesn't have anything kind of really that I can say that is a reason to watch it, unless you just like torturing yourself. So there you go. Watch this film if you are a masochist. That's kind of my log line for this one. 2 out of 10. Have you seen it? Would you see it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.